fursuit films. So, you might have seen many of these already. Okay, so these are, okay, Hollywood and Bollywood both. So you can see. So I hope you got some perspective of Malta and you can have a feel. If you were in Malta, you might find things little bit different than India. But yes, India has always been in my heart because I was born in India. So that's my birthplace. So complex systems. I'm sure many of you are well aware about complex systems. So everything happens in this world because of interaction of various entities. Okay? So if these entities are too many, okay, modeling that interaction is becoming too complex, and that's called a complex system. Okay, so like this, you can see here, there are large number of entities interacting, but fortunately with development in information technology, we are trying to model many things and we are successfully able to model few things. And why modeling? So that we can predict, we can forecast, we can control things. Okay, so we can see an example without modeling what happens. So it's a famous story. Love is in the air. So Della and James were in love, but they were poor. On a fine day, maybe on 14th of February, they wanted to gift each other something. Okay, so Della was having beautiful hair while James was having a wristwatch. Okay. Now that wristwatch was torn, so he always wanted to replace that wristwatch, but he was not having money to replace actually wristband. Okay, so Della decided to gift him a wristband while James decided to gift her a hair clip. So they sold their possessions. So Della got cut her hair and James sold her wristwatch. And when they met, they realized their gifts are not of any use to each other, but love was in the air. So that was happy ending. Is that really a happy ending? Well, you try and you will find. I tried, but it doesn't. Okay. And if that happens repeatedly, you might reach to extreme and you might be apart. So that's the problem without modeling. They were aware what is needed, but they were not aware what is going on at other end or what decision they might take. How to deal with that situation? Well, fortunately, we have some tools, human behavioral modeling, modeling the effect of others' behavior using game theory, modeling of cultural, social, economical, financial, and environmental effects using big data analytics. Most difficult, modeling spontaneous changes in sentiments, possibly using sentiment analytics. And we have to understand, and here this is a big debate, the difference between reality and perception. Perception happens through our experiences, while our experiences might be one time or by chance, so that these might be different than reality. And for that, a very good understanding is provided by our holy book, Srimad Bhagavad Gita, which says, Karmandevadhikaraste ma phaleshu kadachan ma karmphal hetu bhurma shango astvi karmani, means you can do whatever you should do or you want to do, but you can't control the outcome. Why? Because there are large number of factors. You are even not aware about these. So how can you control these? But fortunately, with the technological development, we are trying to control these factors. And that's why digital twin came in the picture. So again, many of our deeds are just because of our perception, not because of reality. Even the outcome we perceive, we do not realize. Okay? So we have to understand the difference. Fortunately, in artificial intelligence, the first algorithm, which is called hill climbing algorithm, has already explained this very well. Okay? So, if you are staying here at the beginning, okay, you can only see local maxima and you will perceive it as a global maxima. But in the reality, global maxima might be even higher. So if you start traveling, okay, and you want to climb that maxima, perceiving that you will be on the top of the world. Once you reach here, you will realize, no, I'm not at the top of the world. So you have to go down as well. And even if you want to go to global minima, you might realize here that this is the global minima. But once you are here, you will realize there is another global minima. Okay. So, whatever you are perceiving is different than the reality. Okay. And that plays a big role in our daily life, in in the development of a nation, okay, or all types of decision making. Okay, so for example, this is a very interesting example. So the date is 26th, sorry, 24th February 2021. What is this? 2022, sorry. Okay, 24th February 2022. What is special about that? Well, Russia, okay, invaded or war or whatever you call it, on Ukraine. Okay. So you can see here, very interesting. That's Nasdaq stock exchange, but this is the same pattern we saw all stock exchanges across the globe. So this is 23rd, or almost 12 hours before that, or 18 hours before actually, that invasion started or war started. Okay. So there was huge tension and people were perceiving war might happen or might not happen. There were two groups. So there was huge uncertainty. Okay. At this point, actually, there was a declaration that, okay, war is gonna happen or whatever you call it. Okay. So you see, for some time this was stable, and then after few hours, it started jumping, and it saw the highest peak it has not seen for many months. Okay, so it was even more than that. Means, can you see, the markets were celebrating that war. Why? Why is that? Okay, so that's quite interesting phenomena. Happened also with Dow Jones or any market, even Indian stock exchange or any country's stock exchange. If you see, if they were open during that time, we saw the similar phenomena. Why is that? Okay, so there was huge uncertainty here. Okay, you know, a girl used to do love me not, and throwing petals, love me not. So war, no war, war, no war. Should we invest or no invest, invest, no invest? But as soon this war started, they know worst thing is already happened. So there is no uncertainty. Now I can plan accordingly. And they started investing a lot. So you can see how perception is affecting our decisions, which might be correct or wrong. Okay. So now you can see, and we analyzed and we found out the countries where there is decision making is very short term. Okay, like lack of stable government, lack of many less control on institutions, less control on nature, and many activities. We take short term decisions, which leads a country to remain undeveloped. Okay? If we start taking longer term decisions or middle term decisions, then our country will become developing. And if we are able to take long term decisions, there is long or much stability, country will be developed. So that is the difference between developing, and undeveloped countries. So you know this. So what can you do for that? Okay, there are two things. Okay, very interestingly, you can do at individual level and at the nation level. Okay, so at individual level, what you can do is you need to take almost 30 to 40,000 decisions throughout the day, and you suffer with decision fatigue and your perception changes every day, every minute. Okay, which divert you from the reality. So what can you do? Try to analyze what decisions you are regularly taking, which is very simple. Okay? All decisions need your priorities. If you decide your priorities today, now you won't require to take many decisions, or your decisions will not be suffered by your perception. These will be correct. You spend some time and decide all your priorities. For example, the first priority should be your life. You cannot sacrifice your life for anything. Yes, if you can want to sacrifice it for your country or family, that's a different thing. But you can decide that, okay, this is my first priority, second priority, third priority, fourth priority, fifth priority, and based on that, you can easily take decisions. Now, that's individual level. At a larger level, okay, what can you do? Okay, so again, if control can come at a local level, that might help you to make decisions bit quicker. Okay, and you might control these for a long term. For example, okay, I can give you a simple difference between India and a developed country. For example, England. Okay, that's not that's part of the UK. Okay, so in England, we have population of almost 35, sorry, 55 million. Okay, while number of football clubs in that population is more than 40,000. So one football club for 1400 population. Okay, so you can easily see how many clubs we have. Okay, not football, but maybe cricket clubs, maybe other things. Okay, so if these might not get affected that much by the global economy. Okay, so local economy can help. Okay, similarly, for example, agriculture, we are giving a MSP and all these things. These are not helping much. The best thing would be, before you start farming, you might have a contract with a buyer. Okay, like he will buy this at a particular cost, and if you can decide if you should do farming or not. If that is beneficial, you definitely know and you are assured. Similarly, insurance. There is only 16% penetration of insurance in India, while in many developed countries, it's up to 90% or more. So you can easily avoid uncertainty or deal with uncertainties. And that might make, similarly at government level and all levels, if there is uncertainty, you will have a problem. Now, how that happens, let me tell you even more detail. Okay, so these are another algorithms in artificial intelligence, and this algorithm is called traveling salesman problem. Okay, okay, that's through this extra. Okay, and these are greedy algorithm. So if you are here, okay, and problem is traveling salesman, algorithm is greedy algorithm. Okay, now if you use a greedy algorithm, okay, what you will do is, okay, and let me first explain you the problem. Problem is, there are 5 cities you need to travel. Okay, being a salesman. Okay, now you are here. Now these are 5 cities. So if you feel there is huge uncertainty, you are not sure if you will find a bus from the next city to another city, or city will be open, closed, how long it might take, all these things. If there is huge uncertainty, what you will do is, you will travel to the nearest city. Then you will, that city, you will travel to the further nearest city. Then you will travel to further nearest city. Okay? That way you require to travel this much. While if there is certainty or you plan ahead, so you will see, okay, first I will go to this city, or this city. Okay, whatever way you will try, and then see which is the best way. Okay, so even before starting your journey, you can decide this route you will follow or this route you will follow, and that will definitely require you to travel far less. Means you will save resources, you will save time, as well as you will achieve success earlier than others who are not following. So you will always get a first mover advantage. Okay, so you can easily see how these algorithms are playing a big role in our life. Okay, so here we are taking decision through perception, while here you are taking a decision through reality. Actually, this is a digital twin of traveling salesman problem and its solution. Okay, so I hope you are able to understand what a digital twin or virtual twin is. Okay, so you plan everything ahead, you try various options available and decide the best option out of these by utilizing all the information available. We will see that in more detail. So because of these problems, what happens is we are suffered with various biases. For example, during COVID-19, we might have seen optimism bias in many people, okay, which is like COVID-19 can affect everyone else, but I'm prone to that. It cannot kill me, but everyone else it can kill. How can it that happen? Okay. Or when you invest in lottery or stock exchange or many places, you know the statistics is saying, for example, lottery, only one out of thousands or millions will win, but you perceive that you are that one. Okay. Or another example, if you are traveling a route, for example, in India, I can take a typical route. Okay. For example, Noida Expressway. Okay. I hope you all are aware about that. Okay. I traveled that few times, so I know. Okay. So if there is a statistics, I don't know what is exact statistics, but maybe some statistics is there, 0.1 percent accidents or something, okay, or accident after traveling that much of kilometers, okay. Now, statistics will remain same unless you change the system or, there are some provisions made to deal with that. But if you travel by that route and you find you are not getting accident after trying few times, 3, 4, 5 times, you will start thinking the statistics are wrong. There will never be any accident. But statistics will play its role. So, your perception is there is no accident, but reality is different. There might still be an accident. Okay. Similarly, this is pessimism bias. So during COVID-19, everyone started, or not everyone, but some people started thinking the world gonna end. So I go to my home to say last goodbye. Okay. That is over protection, I would say. Okay. We can take another example is the same one, traveling on a route. Okay. So if statistics is saying, okay, or like, okay, if you fly or you go by road or you go by train, so statistics is saying flights are the safest. Okay. But if you see newspaper and there is a news about a flight accident, you will start perceiving that they are least safe. Okay. So you will try to avoid that. Similarly for the road, if you are traveling first time and you see or saw an accident, you will start perceiving that there are large number of accidents. Okay, so I should avoid this road. But that is not true. Statistics will play its role, and or your safety measures, or you have control on few things, but your perception will tell you different things. Okay? So there are many other biases because of your perception. Confirmation bias, anchoring bias. I'm not discussing all these, otherwise all my presentation will take. Okay? So, and these are affecting our decisions. Many times due to these biases, we take wrong decisions. How to avoid these? How to make the right decision, especially in case of health. If you take a wrong decision in case of health, it might even kill. Being a doctor, if you take a wrong decision of a person who got trauma or accident, and the result might be quite difficult. So we should try to make the right decisions. And how? Using all information available, avoiding impact of perception or biasage, okay, and also trying various options virtually. Okay, so we can take another example, which is our economic system. Okay, so you all are aware, more demand than supply means more profit. Okay, more profit means the industry will become attractive. So like you see there is more demand than supply because there are queues in front of shops. So you start opening, thinking, okay, if I run a shop there, it will definitely be profitable. So it will become attractive industry. But you are not the only one who is thinking like that. There might be many people. So they will start opening their shops. Okay, so more players will be there, and suddenly there will be more supply than demand. What will happen because of that? Less price, less profit. Even you or some might need to leave the market with losses. So fine, again, more demand than supply. So this cycle will continue that way. Okay. So you can see, and that is what happening with many industry in India. And that's why, or not only in India, everywhere, even in across the globe. But yes, some are trying or taking advantage of this phenomena, and they are using virtual twins or these types of techniques to see the complete cycle, avoiding their impact on due to perception or biasage. Okay, so the same way our healthcare system, we have two types of healthcare systems, public and private. Many countries are struggling with improving their healthcare system. Because of failure of Obamacare, we got Donald Trump. Because of failure of healthcare system in the UK, we got conservatives in power. Okay, so governments are changing even in India. That is happening somehow. Okay, many states have changed their governments because of healthcare. So, and this is a global problem, not like it's only in developed country, undeveloping or developed. All countries are suffering with this problem, struggling to deal with that at some level. The shape or size might be different in different countries, but still we do not have an ideal system. But yes, there are proposals for that, and we will discuss in this. So private healthcare system. Some patients want cheap healthcare. Some patients want luxurious healthcare, because they can afford. So health providers want maximum profit, and for them maximum profit means maximum hospital visits as well as maximum duration of stay in the hospital if they are charging for per day. So what they might do, you can easily understand. Okay, so what is happening at, okay, so for example, I started a hospital here. Okay, and I want to employ a surgeon. Okay, now the salary of a surgeon is, I don't know, 10,000 US dollars per month. Okay, now if I'm charging per patient for that particular surgery 500 US dollars. Okay, to meet the salary only, I need at least 20 patients per month. But if there are more expenses, okay, some other expenses like building, instruments, okay, even nursing and all these, I might need, I don't know, 30 or 40 or even 50 patients per month to meet the salary requirements. Okay. Now, what if I'm not getting these many patients? Either I should fire that surgeon. Okay, if I fire that surgeon, what might be the impact in the society? Society might not get services or surgery. So people might, sacrifice their lives. Okay. Now, if they are charging more, you might complain. This hospital is charging more. So it is extremely complex to decide what is the best way to charge less, to pay less, if you are paying less to that surgeon, it might happen in future you won't find surgeon because that medical practice might not be lucrative. So no parents or no one will decide to go for this profession. So you won't find surgeons at all. So what might be the solution? Now, another type of system, you might suggest that this is the solution, public healthcare system. Well, many countries are having public healthcare system like Malta, the UK, Canada, even Italy, France, many countries are having this, Switzerland, Germany. Okay. So in public healthcare system, everyone gets the same healthcare. Health providers want minimum cost because they are paying through the taxes. Minimum cost means limited resources, least duration in hospital, and minimum admissions. Okay. So I was working with NHS in the UK, and we tried different options. So like we started discharging patients bit early. Okay, so let them recover in community. Okay, so first to deal with waiting list, and yes, the UK is still struggling to deal with waiting list targets even after 15 years when I was working there. Okay, so least duration in hospitals, patients are discharged early, they might need to go back to the hospital again because they are not able to recover fully in the community. So more readmission. That will again contribute to waiting list, so longer waiting list. So that might not work. Okay. So what might be the solution? Okay. So longer waiting list means poor health care, public outcry, as I have told you, even they have changed the government. And to deal with that, sometimes they might come with a priority or preference system. So like those are having a particular disease, for example, stroke patients might get a priority. How can you decide that this person is having a serious condition than other unless you do various investigations? And there is a waiting list for investigation. So many patients might die even waiting for their investigations. Or there might be wrong decisions because by just observing you decide, okay, this patient is serious, this patient might be stroke patient, but other patient might be serious than this patient in reality. You will come to know only through investigation, and investigation will take time. It will increase the waiting list. So what is the solution? Okay. So you might come with some preference system even, okay, you might have seen in there might be, okay, he is a relative of that, he is ready to pay more, so you might have various fees, okay, if you are, okay, or special service category, I don't know, or age group or whatever, but at the end everyone will not get the same health care. So this is called corruption. You know, if everyone is not getting that, or they are getting health care not based on the true regions, but some other regions they are getting priorities, so that's corruption. So what is the solution? You might say you can add more resources. How can you add more resources? You need more money, so more taxes. All right, people are ready to pay that more cost. Okay, you might see, okay, there will be a short waiting list because of more resources. Okay, so you might also discharge late, longer hospital stay. But then we realized if we do that, okay, and reduce readmissions, this is just our perception. If we keep patient longer at the hospital, they might suffer with hospital acquired infection as well. So there is a rate of that infection you have to see. Okay, so with longer hospital stay, that infection rate is increasing. Okay, so then there might be many patients who were otherwise avoid going to the hospital will start going to the hospital. We use a term called care holidays. So if there is someone who is dependent, some carer is taking care of him or her, then they want some holidays or like get bored or something, okay, some change. So they will unnecessarily create or artificially create some problem so that they can get admission to the hospital. If there is a waiting list, they know they can't get admission, so they will not go. But if there is no waiting list or a short waiting list, they might still try. And sometimes this has been fatal. There are reported cases of that fatality. So, that might be a bigger problem. And underutilization of resources, okay, or misuse of resources, so more cost, and this will start making some waiting list. So what might be the solution? You might collect all information, and based on that you do some forecast or something. So you should have optimum resources, optimum waiting time, optimum hospital stay, minimum readmissions, optimum patients numbers, optimum utilization of minimum misuse, and optimum cost and some waiting list. So how can you do that? Well, you should have proper planning, resource requirement forecasting, admission rate forecasting, and continuously adding resources if population is increasing or population dynamics is changing. Okay. But in that case, what if there are some health emergencies like pandemic? How can you get more resources instantly available? If you keep these resources, you can understand what these are highly misutilized or underutilized because pandemic happens once in 10 years or I don't know, whatever the cycle is. You don't need continuously these resources. Okay. So that's a problem. So admission rate estimation and length of stay estimation. So what can you do to deal with all these problems? It is not only just estimation, you will take all the information available globally, and based on that you will make various models. These are called virtual twins or digital twin model of hospital, and we'll see even patients. Okay, how many, okay, and what are, you will also try various interventions and see the impact. So we come back to our global health challenges. Okay. So first is obesity and chronic diseases. You all know, okay, like hypertension, diabetes, cardiovascular diseases, okay, cancer, and all these. Okay. Then aging and ever increasing health resource requirements. Thankfully, are able to increase our life expectancy, and we hope it will increase further. But in that, the result is more healthcare resources are required. That's one side. The another side is the proportion of elderly population and adult population or okay is changing. So you have less number of carers or staff than those needing healthcare resources. Okay, so that's why Europe is struggling badly to deal with staff shortage in healthcare. Okay, another problem is drug resistance. Okay, so that is another upcoming problem, and it is expected by 2050 million population might lose their lives just because of drug resistance. Okay. Another is hospital acquired infections and medical errors. Many estimates are saying that hospital acquired infections and medical errors are responsible for up to 18% preventable casualties in hospitals across the globe. Then global warming and pollution, which is also contributing to all other diseases like chronic diseases and all these. Health inequality and healthcare finance. So that's the importance we realized very recently. So health inequality, I can explain you. You are healthy only if someone in China, the first lady who got that infection of COVID-19 is healthy. If someone got infection in China or in Africa or in Malta or somewhere can also infect you. So you invest a lot on your own health will not keep you healthy. You should also ensure everyone is healthy. And for that, you need new models of healthcare finance. Then infectious or zoonotic diseases and viruses. COVID-19, another domain, stress and sleep apnea. So this is becoming a bigger pandemic than COVID-19. Okay, so many are suffering with that. So far, we were not giving much importance to that, but now this domain is getting more and more attention because many of your diseases, even how you will respond to or your body will respond to infectious diseases or chronic diseases, are dependent on your stress level or sleep level. Okay. And unfortunately, up to 50% of world population is affected by this at least once in their life. Okay. Another domain is relationships and social health. So your health does not depend only on you, also depends on your relations. Okay, your social or health. Okay, so like if there is huge spread of, I don't know, dengue or COVID-19 in your society, you might not remain, or you will find it difficult to remain healthy. But not only that, your society might affect your stress level. Your society might affect hygiene. Okay? Similarly, your relationships might affect your stress. So relationship medicine is upcoming domain, and there are huge jobs. So you can easily see these problems are not just medical problem. These are affected by or creating also problem in society. So these are social problem, political, cultural, community. So all aspects of life are getting affected by these, as well as all aspects of life affecting these problems. Okay. So for a solution, we don't just need medical data. We need data from all aspects of life. If we have that huge data, how can we analyze? Well, so we can do complex system analysis, okay, or extended health intelligence through virtual twins or digital twins. So these are the technologies thankfully available to deal with these problems or collecting data. Okay, so extended health intelligence or AI and ML, okay, available for predictive and prescriptive analytics, and digital twins or virtual twins. Sensor networks for collecting data. So you can also use satellites, IoT, okay, all type and wearables. Then for transferring data and storing data, so 5G, 6G, cloud computing, telemedicine, and mobile health. For actuating or implementing the outcome of data analysis, we have robotics. Then some biological technologies which are possible because of informatics, obviously. So gene editing, genomics, epigenomics, proteomics, and metabolomics. On top of all these, we need globalization and economic growth to support all these developments. So what is an extended health intelligence, as I was talking about? So human intelligence is limited, okay, because you manually collect data. So knowledge collection is limited by 5 senses. You can't collect, or maybe some stored data is somewhere in books or, okay. Knowledge processing, as we have already seen, it might be highly biased, okay, even, okay, we have limited capacity of processing knowledge. And finally, our decisions are limited, so we can take limited actions and we get limited feedback. So learning is limited, okay. You can't try everything. For example, here some doctors struggle to see all types of patients because some rare patients are, or type of patients are arriving only once. So you are lucky if you want to see or you have seen these. But to train someone to treat these patients, it's challenge. Okay. So what can you do? Well, the solution is extended health intelligence or extended intelligence. So you will use techniques to collect data like IoT and all these. So you might collect unlimited data, and you can also use methods to ensure correctness. Okay. These, because being processed by machines, these are unbiased, and you might have unlimited number of machines, so unlimited capacity, and you can simulate various actions. You can get feedback from that simulation to implement reinforcement learning. So you can improve your systems infinitely with all possible cases. Okay. So this was the introduction. Now we can see what digital twin or digital U can do in healthcare. So do you want to forecast number of hospital admissions? It can help you in that. To ensure bed availability, to estimate waiting time, to have healthcare professionals available, to analyze climate change impact on public health, okay, to find out the risk to suffer from various diseases, to minimize that risk, okay, to assist correct diagnosis, to take care of your health, okay, then to estimate length of stay, to better capacity planning, to have discharge planning, to optimize resource utilization and management, To control disease outbreak and spread, we might develop alerting system. To understand whether impact on disease spread, to prepare health system, to make public health policies, alert public. Okay. So to develop health now, these are the advantages. So to develop a virtual twin or digital twin system, first we will develop predictive analysis or analytics and prescriptive analytics systems. So what are these? Predictive analytics, we will collect all types of data, and based on that data, so that type of data might be genetic makeup or genomic profile, present health status, environmental factors, diet and medicine, sleep, stress, lifestyle and activities, exercise and therapy, relationships, social and economical status, okay, even travel, family history, and all these you will use to predict what type of diseases one might have or what is the disease risk. Okay, and based on that, you might prescribe to prevent these diseases, to avoid or to manage these diseases, okay, or manage the disease risk. So what interventions you might try? Controlling environmental factors, diet, medicine, sleep, stress, lifestyle changes, exercise therapy, medical tests, investigations, treatment, surgery, gene editing, precautions, and monitoring might help. Okay, so you might prescribe, okay, there is a huge risk of developing, I don't know, diabetes in next 5 years. So you should follow these diets, these, medicines you should start taking. You might go for regular investigations or tests, or maybe there is a surgery or something. Okay. So that you can prevent or minimize that disease risk. Okay. So digital twin will combine these two, will try various interventions, and based on the outcome of these interventions, it will decide the best intervention possible for a particular person. So it will prescribe that intervention. Okay. So that's what digital twin is or virtual twin is. Okay. So it's a digital representation of human physiology built on computer models in which data relating to both the individual and the population are introduced. Okay, so it can revolutionize clinical processes and hospital management by enhancing medical care with digital tracking and advancing modeling of the human body. Okay. So you might say in the future, it might also help physicians optimize the performance of patient-specific treatment plans. Okay. So these are a type of data you might consider. You might find out all the factors. Okay. So even these, on which floor you are staying, what type of, all these are also helping. Okay. So okay, this is just a virtual representation. Okay. So these are advantages of digital twin. Okay. This is analysis. So genetic data analysis, laboratory studies, imaging studies, biomedical signals, behavioral data, social. Okay. So these are further advantages of digital twin. Sorry, and these are the input data. So we have already discussed these. Yeah, these are further advantages of digital twins. So predicting health status, predicting disease risks, recognizing unexpected health changes, identifying factors affecting health so that you can control them, determining the most affecting intervention, maybe therapy, treatment, behavioral intervention, dietary intervention, or improving patient monitoring, disease warning, patient education, improving physician-patient relationship, predicting resource requirements, ensuring these resources are available whichever are required, okay, and you will focus might change from treatment to prevention. Okay. Even you might reduce hospital visits, okay, or you might use telemedicine or healthcare at home. Okay. You might also develop medicine as an open loop system. So not just you go to the doctor when you are having a disease or a problem, but doctor might call you by predicting, okay, Mr. Garg, you might have this disease or you might develop this disease in next 2 years. So please do these things. Okay. So you don't need to go to hospital for treatment. You just get consultation for prevention without even going to the hospital. Okay. Better personalized medicine, reducing medical errors, controlling drug resistance, okay, and controlling hospital-acquired infection, because you need not to go to hospital at that frequently as you used to go. Okay, reducing insurance premium. Similarly, you won't get and medicines as frequently as you are getting. So you can control drug resistance. You can reduce insurance premium because you need less hospital resources. Okay. Then for scientific research, you can develop and share patient life log, promptly recognize and contain infectious diseases. Okay. So we are also working these digital twins as part of a larger project, okay, which is digital health twin. Okay. And the part of that project funded by MCST is Satellite for Health project. Okay. Now we are also extending that to Safe Health, another project. So in this project, okay, we are working with these organizations. Okay, and we got only 150,000 euro to work on. Okay, so Space Research Fund 2021 paid for that, and now we are extending this. Okay, so funded by MCST. So digital twin of Earth, as I was telling you, is a larger project which is trying to simulate various geographic activities happening on this Earth so that we can see their impact and we can prepare our systems. Yes, and we can have a better understanding of Earth's behavior and various activities. Okay, so the objective of that, okay, it will monitor environmental threats. Okay, for example, global warming impact. Okay, so rising sea levels or ocean acidification or okay, floods and heat waves. Okay, so we will have a digital replica of Earth so that we can have a better understanding, and we can see environmental activities like forest erosion, hydrology, Antarctica, food systems, ocean, climate, hot spots. Okay, and we can also see future effects of climate change on our Earth. Okay, so these are application domains. So aerospace, healthcare, wind farm, automobile, and manufacturing. Okay, so this is little bit a video on that. Our Mother Earth, the only planet. Are you able to hear that?
Yes, sir.
Hello.
Yes, sir. We can
You
hear
are
you.
able to hear video? In the solar system, accommodates many species, including us. Complex life on Mother Earth requires stable conditions to flourish, but due to the access-human interface on Earth geology and ecology, many global problems are introduced like global warming, rising sea level, forest erosion, and many more. As a result, life on Earth experiencing instability. Health Organization discovered that 3 million deaths a year are caused by air pollution and is recognized as a contributing factor in the onset of heart disease and cancer. Along with the air pollution, must consider other environmental factors like temperature and humidity. Air temperature affects air movement and thus the movement of air pollution. Because energy from the sun is absorbed by the Earth's surface, air near the ground is warmer than air that is further up in the troposphere. The warmer, lighter air at the surface rises, and the cooler, heavier air in the upper troposphere sinks. This is known as convection, and it moves pollutants from the ground to higher altitudes. In the case of humidity, it is a combination of dry air and water vapor. The degree of combination of this duo ultimately determines how hot or cold the temperature is. This scenario comes alive when we feel intense body heat and skin irritation or shivering uncontrollably. High humidity increases the rate of harmful or toxic chemicals in the air. It also causes dust mites in our homes,
Dampening air quality. Bacterial and viral organisms that cause respiratory infections thrive due to high and low humidity. Low humidity also causes airborne germs. This entire scenario leads to critical situations which are not only harmful to humans but also to other species. We need to find a solution that stabilizes the conditions and leads us towards a better world that everyone deserves. The Digital Twin of Earth project is among the promising technologies that will provide the solution to save our Mother Earth. Suppose we succeed in implementing fusion of digital twin of Earth and digital twin technology in healthcare. In that case, it will highlight the effect of the Earth's changing environment on particular human replicas. We can digitally create an Earth-like climate to examine its internal and external impacts on the human body with the existing health conditions. GIS can be used to explore collating open data to develop a digital twin of city air quality to inform public understanding of health issues, find ways to improve air quality, and move towards a healthy breathing city. We will be showcasing the impact of rapidly integrating multiple open data sources into an interactive digital twin using our cloud-based real-time simulation platform. In other words, healthcare scientists can tackle what-if scenarios without affecting the safety of individuals. The information that this project will generate, not to mention the insights that it will reveal, could drastically improve society's understanding of the challenges and risks of air pollution. More importantly, we will present multiple ways for reducing air pollution and allow cities to understand the importance of green energy, sustainable transport, e-waste management, e-mobility, and vegetation management. Moreover, every government needs to assess the air quality targets which are allocated to cities on an annual basis. Our little initiatives will make a huge difference for our future generations. We urge you, let's work together to make our Mother Earth livable and beautiful. After all, it's incredible in the universe. Our Mother Earth.
Okay, so that's a digital twin. So now the part of that is satellite for health.
Have you ever experienced a changing weather effect on your health? The answer is not that much simple. Changing weather can have a long-time adverse effect on human body. We proposed Destination Earth project that intends to identification of primary climatic factors influencing public health, characterizing the impact of weather factors on the hospital admissions and patient length of stay, modeling correlation between the satellite imagery and weather stations data, develop a public prototype satellite-based health monitoring and resource requirement forecasting tools. Sentinel-3, Terra, Aqua, and EUMETSAT satellites will collect land surface temperature while health data was collected from DHIR. A novel holistic approach is developed to process the datasets and forecasting. We are expecting a novel tool that can predict the hospital admission rate and patient length of stay by considering weather factors. This project not only discloses the crucial effects of weather on health, but also help us to improve our health facilities. Have you?
Okay, so these are more details. You have already seen objectives. So finding out the most significant satellite imagery data parameters influencing public health. Okay. Then modeling the effect of weather parameters on human health. Okay, correlation between the satellite imagery data and weather stations or ground station data. Characterizing the climate factors impact on hospital admission and patient length of stay. Also factors on the hospital admissions and patient length of stay, and we will develop public health monitoring and resource requirement forecasting tools. Okay, so these are data types we are using. Okay, so mainly Sentinel-3 satellite we are using, but in addition to that, we are also using Mark Ocean 5 and DIAS. Okay. And then UMState. Okay. So we are also using weather station data or ground station data provided by Free Matthew, and these parameters we are using like daily average or maximum temperature, minimum temperature, temperature variations, humidity, UV index, and sunshine hours. Okay, so data we are collecting, hospital data we are collecting from the Mater Dei hospital. The beauty of that is being an island nation, a tiny island nation, we are able to have data of almost every person on this island. Okay. So there are data since 20212. Okay. This is just schematic representation of various techniques we are using. Okay. So we are using various machine learning techniques to analyze image data. Okay. And also classification and clustering techniques and prognostication and regression techniques we are using. So if you want to have more details of that, you can go through my papers. Okay. So, and we are implementing them using MATLAB, Python, R, C++, and other programming language if necessary. Okay. So these are some of the initial results. So you can say here, okay, so number of admissions are getting affected by variation in temperature largely. Okay, so variation means the average temperature yesterday and average temperature today. Okay. Then maximum temperature is affecting only if the variation in temperature reach more than 1 degree centigrade. Okay. Now, length of stay is getting affected by maximum temperature. Okay. And if maximum temperature is greater than 21 degrees centigrade, then average temperature is also affecting. Okay. And when average temperature is between 21 degrees centigrade to 30 degrees centigrade, then minimum temperature is also playing a role. Okay. So these are some other example advantages of it. Okay. Now, we also worked on data collection through IoT. Okay, so I'm not sure if you are still alive. Okay, so I can continue. Otherwise, you have a question, you can ask me. Here, I will just summarize some other projects we are working on. So, are you still there?
Sir,
Yeah. Are there any questions? Or should I continue?
so participants, can anyone can ask your queries about the session? Sir, you can continue, sir.
Okay, so this we started working on at the beginning of COVID-19 outbreak, and we published this paper in on August 31st, 2020. Okay, so what we did is we developed a contact tracing model, not using mobile phone battery. Okay, so it is just using RFIDs. Okay, and by that it is able to detect contact not only with the human but all moving objects, because COVID-19 might spread with other moving objects, for example animals, even some meat products, and all these things might spread. So it is able to track all these. Now this can be utilized for any other disease as well to get a better understanding. Okay. So this was done in collaboration with Malta Research Innovation and Development Trust and Al-Faisal University, Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. Okay. And yes, Birla Institute of Technology, Ranchi, and ABB, Triple ITM, Gwalior. So it can quickly tell you even what might be the area hotspot and you need to avoid, while what might be the safest place to purchase goods, or okay. So, and the best part is it was anonymity preserving. Like, okay, they can know that you came in contact with someone with COVID-19 risk, but at the same time, you might not know who is that person. So it is preserving the anonymity of that person. Okay. So we can further utilize this to design a disease network. Disease network is a network showing how disease is spreading. Okay. So, for example, if the disease is spreading through schools, public transport, through hospitals, through I don't know, okay, social gatherings, so it can find out that. Okay, so how much is the disease spread risk of various entities in the society or in the city? So it will design that. It will continuously monitor if there is any change in that, track that these changes, then share this information, analyze that information, learn from that, and predict how many resources are required and prepare our system for that. Okay. Then you can also develop using the same system patient life log. So it will have medical history, travel history, activities and behavior and family history. So you can use that in digital twin. Okay, so this is the paper. Okay, all right. Then some other projects. Okay, so this was a self-service kiosk where you might avoid physical contact with any medical professionals for tests which can be done without that physical contact. So it is actually helping in triage as well. So you can get your blood pressure, okay, blood sugar levels and many others, and as well as it can find out the appropriate healthcare professionals should see you, okay, or if there is actually a need to see a medical professional, so you can avoid contact and avoid spread of disease. So contact and disease spread you can control by that. Okay, so this is again IoT based. Okay, now this is further not only weather but other factors affecting your health. Okay, so there are many papers we have published on that. Okay, so that you can better manage healthcare services. Okay. Then we also developed a digital twin application, which is an intelligent healthcare mobile app, which can help you to decide if someone is having, for example, any health episode, chest pain. Okay. Now that chest pain might be different for different people based on your previous conditions. Okay. So it might be heart attack, it might be gastric pain, it might be due to weather and many things. So it can easily find out the risk based on the data you have continuously providing to this, and then it can suggest if you should see a doctor, you should call him, or you should go to accident and emergency department. You know what course of action you should take. Like in India, you can also extend that to decide which hospital you should go, or if you should go for an ambulance, air ambulance, okay, in the same city or another city, or you should call a doctor at home. Okay. It can also facilitate remote monitoring as well as remote consultation. Okay. So all decisions will be highly personalized. Okay. So this is an implementation of digital twin, which we have already discussed. Okay. Then to ensure the quality of data, and if there is missing data, then imputing that data, we worked on missing data handling. Okay, so it can impute the missing data with a good accuracy or acceptable accuracy. So these are papers, you can go through that. This is another interesting implementation of again digital twin. So what happens is there has been large number of patients in the hospital last few years, okay, or in its history, hospital's history. So it will take all data of patients who admitted to the hospital. Okay, so this is for a particular disease, so like upper gestational bleeding. Okay, so all patients suffered with that problem. Then what were the observations taken at that time? So all investigations and all these results, and what was the diagnosis, what was the treatment, and what was the outcome. Based on that, it will internally develop a machine learning model. And then if there is a new patient, it will be able to suggest an intervention or treatment and also diagnosis. Okay. For medical students, it is creating new cases randomly, and based on that, it can ask medical students to suggest what should be the treatment, as well as it will suggest the treatment or intervention as well as diagnosis. Okay. And based on that, we can examine medical students. Medical students can also get many new cases which they might not see in quick practice. Like, okay, they might need to be prepared for these cases. Okay, so in long run, they might see them. Okay, so it is helping them. Okay, so this is in collaboration with Tan Tong Sang Hospital, Singapore. Okay, then this is HIV disease progression modeling, where we are modeling how a patient will respond to a treatment, as well as how the patient condition will change based on various factors. So what are the factors affecting? So some patients condition might get worsen, okay, even after treatment, while some patients might recover even without treatment. We can also find out the right time of antiretroviral therapy or the treatment. Okay, so we are getting data from Instituto Superiore di Sanità, Rome, Italy, and we are using these techniques, which type survival tree analysis, survival analysis, Markov process model, and Bayesian analysis. Okay, so these are some of the papers. Here we are predicting and detecting epileptic seizure, analyzing EEG data. Okay, so we are getting data from Massachusetts General Hospital, MIT, USA. Okay. Then we are combining EEG and fMRI, because EEG is extremely fast but has a poor spatial resolution, while fMRI is excellent spatial resolution while poor temporal resolution, so very slow. Okay, so we combine so we can ensure fast as well as excellent spatial resolution. Okay. This is predicting neurological disorder by social media. So we are analyzing social media data, for example, your DP, your videos, okay, your frequency, your text, okay, to detect or predict neurological disorders such as anxiety disorder or depression. Okay, so that's in collaboration with Jivaji University. Okay, so I think this is all right. Okay, so these are all. Okay, so now I'm here for questions.
Any queries from authors? Any queries from authors? Lalit Garg sir, very thankful to you.
My pleasure.
How are you, sir?
Yes, I'm fine. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir.
So-
Sorry to trouble you frequently.
No worries. Okay, now I think I can discuss few more things if there are no queries and you have time.
Yes, sir. Your working also too good, sir. Presentation also too good. Delivery and speech also too good. It is very expensive and knowledgeable session, sir. I think very much talented your speech, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.
Once again, our sincere thanks to Dr. Lalit Garg for your time and your expansion speech on satellite data analytics and virtual health twins. Your engaging way of communicating with our audience made a significant impression on our guests, and we are hope to have the honor of welcoming you back to our events stage sometime soon, sir. It is very
I
happy
would
to
love.
interact with you, sir. Even Telsia sir also very much happy to inform me to me. You are very knowledgeable person. I
Thank
try
you.
to connect with you frequently. In the way,
Please.
the same support from your end in near future also.
Yes.
Already,
Yeah. So those are attendees. If you are interested in pursuing collaborative research, PhD or postdoctoral, feel free to write me. Okay, so please
My friend, one of
provide all
the,
details if you write to me.
yes,
Yeah.
sir, my friend, one of the colleague is there, Anjireddy, from my Lend Institute of Engineering and Technology. He already pursuing and plan to submit a PhD in NIT Silchar.
Okay, great.
They want to looking for a PDF, sir. In the short time, I will contact you. Please
Yes,
consider.
please feel free to write me.
Sure, sir. Thanks for your patience and give the opportunity, sir, to share your
All the
knowledge.
very best. Thank you.
Thank
My
you.
pleasure.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. So all the very best to everyone. Do your best. Bye-bye.
Bye,
Take
sir.
care.
Thank you very much, sir. I will call you, sir. Bye, sir. Please wait. I will share feedback forms. These are section 1, section 2 feedback forms. Kindly fill the forms. Then automatically certificate will reach you and mapping the your attendance along with all sessions. Okay. And sharply 3 o'clock, another session is there from JN to Vijayanagaram, CS HOD. Okay, it is very useful session. Okay,